Hey everybody, today we're talking about Justice League, the World's Greatest Superheroes by Paul Dini and Alex Ross. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent and today we're talking about World's Greatest Superheroes. This is a collection of the Treasury editions that Paul Dini and Alex Ross did back in the late 90s. And my gosh, I've seen a lot of the images in here by Alex Ross. He does a lot of he does all the paintings in here, and they're gorgeous. And I've seen panels of these on the internet for years, or in Wizard Magazine or something, and never got the context of them. I've seen these two-pager origins about Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman before. I probably leafed through one or two of these at Barnes & Noble when I was in middle school or something like that. You've seen this Power of Hope Shazam cover everywhere. I went in the local comic book store today, and they had this hardcover of this oversized edition, right? So this is a trade paperback. I believe there's a hardcover out there. I'm not sure what size it is, but I'll tell you, originally, these were published in what's called the Treasury size. So this is like a black label sized book. It's magazine sized. It's taller and wider than a normal trade paperback. Let me get this right. So here's the Tom King trade, and there's the size difference between this one, right? So that's about the size of a black label book, like Batman Damned or Superman Earth Year One, that kind of thing. But it was originally published in this size, this Treasury edition. This is the Superman Hero for All. This one's great. Go check it out. But yeah, that's the size it was originally published at. So just picture this as even more massive than what I read it in with this oversized system. But I like the trade paperback quality of it, and I don't think the text is big enough that you can read it. It wasn't a huge deal. But this is a collection of stories, mainly 5, right? 4. Superman, Batman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman. And they all had their own one shot. And then you had another one of the Justice League of America, and that's the one that's kind of like the most comic booky because there's actual word balloons, whereas every other story in here is all of this kind of storybook quality illustration and text next to the images. And that's kind of what they're going for, as they discuss in the back of this book, is Alex Ross wanted to do some sort of superhero storybook type thing, but in a larger format that will probably represent his artwork better. He probably drew, not this size, even bigger, I'm sure, but replicated well in print, right? So this is after Kingdom Come, and you've seen you've seen this image. You've seen it. It's gorgeous. And all of these stories, honestly, are so good. And it's kind of weird that they're so good because it features our heroes going up against a problem that they can't solve. Superman tries to solve world hunger and figures out he can't do it by himself. Batman his book is called War on Crime, and he goes out and tries to eradicate crime from one neighborhood in Gotham over a period of time, figures out he can't do it. He encounters this young boy multiple times during this war, beginning, middle, and end, and just look at these spreads. They're beautiful. There is a little bit of gutter loss in this trade paperback, but it's not a ton. I mean, you've seen this image of Batman over Gotham before. This is so full of so many iconic images that you've seen. You just may have never read these stories. Shazam visits a children's hospital trying to bring hope to these children who are, very, very ill. And that kind of thing. Takes them on an adventure and then ends up having to rescue them again. That was pretty funny. But yeah, just gorgeous stuff. I mean, when have you seen Shazam and the Wizard like that? Much less this facial expression. This is Alex Ross proving why he is a master 30 years ago. And he was a master very early on in his career. Wonder Woman is trying to stop this. I don't even know what she's trying to stop. She's trying to stop a war and bring hope to everyone. And basically encountering that her presence as Wonder Woman is intimidating and sometimes not welcome, especially in these Middle Eastern countries where she, everybody else is clothed and she's not. So she has to use her femininity to shock and surprise people and stop them from doing terrible things. And then the Justice League one, you get a series of 2-page origins for Green Lantern, The Flash, and they're all in these beautiful blue or one single color motifs. Flash obviously is red, Green Lantern is green, Batman's is blue, Hawkman's is like this golden brown, and then they have a story where they're battling this like super disease, alien disease, and the things that they do have ramifications on Earth that make the Earth civilization afraid of them, and so they have to justify themselves to the United Nations and the world after basically causing a giant hysteria all around the world. So it's really interesting how they encounter things that they can't stop, but they still learn a lesson from it. So that's a really interesting take. There's no supervillains in here, it's all everyday problems that they are trying to face. And it's like, wow, if you had these superheroes in the real world, they could try and do some good. They could actually accomplish some things. Look at this shot of Wonder Woman. There's so many gorgeous spreads in here. But yeah, you don't need supervillains to make good superhero comics. And with good writing, you can do a whole lot. And that's what Paul Dini and Alex Ross are showcasing here. With the right team, you can do a whole lot in superhero comics and not have a cheesy supervillain fight, which there's none of in here, which I'm surprised to say. And also, it was nice to read something different, right? Even though this is, almost 30 years old, which is crazy. So yeah, big thumbs up on this one. Highly recommend it. This retails for $30. And for this gorgeous artwork and all these legendary pages that you have seen the images for, just maybe not know where they're from this book, and it's gorgeous. And it's a great read also. So pick this up. Anybody can read this. This is a book for all ages. Wonderful, wonderful book. If you haven't read this stuff, seek it out. 2 thumbs way up on this one. So let me know what you guys thought of this edition down below in the comments, and we'll see you next time in the Funny Pages.